Hey, it's Dave. Do you want proof that my 5 essential elements of MS recovery will work for you? Let me introduce you to Angela.
Hi Steve, it's Angela. Thanks so much for inviting me to do a video for your channel. Your channel has helped me so much. I feel it is an honor to be able to do something to help you and your subscribers in return. So here we go. I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting MS this past March. I originally began experiencing symptoms in January. That's when my left hand went numb and I was having an itchy, tingly sensation around my left forehead area, which then extended down to my left ear, and I kept telling my family that it felt like an earache, only it was around my ear rather than in my ear, and it just felt weird all around my ear on the outside. After about 2 weeks of this, I finally relented and scheduled a visit to my primary care physician. The doctor put me through some routine tests and requested some blood work. She initially tested me for shingles, Lyme disease, and some other things that she wanted to rule out. All of my blood work came back normal, so she then referred me to a neurologist because of the numbness I was experiencing. At this point, since I am left-handed, I could barely hold a pen or pencil to write without looking like I was drunk. So the first neurologist I saw sent me for an MRI. I drove myself there, not having a clue that MS was a possibility. When I was about halfway through with the MRI, 2 nurses came in and said that the radiologist needs to enhance what he is seeing, so they needed to inject me with contrast dye. It was then that full panic set in and I realized something serious might be wrong with me. My paternal grandfather died of a brain tumor in the 1950s at age 31, so I immediately thought that they were seeing a brain tumor. I left the imaging center in an absolute panic, and the tears started flowing all the way home. Later that afternoon, my neurologist called to say he suspects multiple sclerosis, and that he would need me to get a lumbar puncture and a lot more blood work in order to confirm that diagnosis. Fast forward, I did those things and got the diagnosis of relapsing remitting MS by the end of March of 2021. Once I had my diagnosis, I spent about a week in disbelief, shock, and depression. I then got busy doing research. I decided that I needed to stop scaring myself with reading about all that could go wrong with MS, and I needed to see if I could find anyone else who has healed themselves from the ravages of MS. I spent the better part of April and May researching everything I could find. First, I found Dr. Terry Walls and found out that she had cured herself of primary progressive MS, the worst kind of MS, and she went from being bedridden and wheelchair-bound to fully getting her life back with her own dietary recommendations. Dr. Walls now walks and rides her bicycle again, and has even stopped taking her DMT drugs. I bought both of Dr. Wall's books and switched from the keto diet that I had been on since January 1st with my teenage son to the Wall's protocol diet. To date, I have lost 108 pounds, and I've been feeling pretty good ever since. Oh, and I also take a pretty long list of anti-inflammatory and antioxidant supplements too. So if anyone would like to see my list, just let me know in the comments. Back to my story. Once I found Dr. Walls, I kept researching and I found Steve. What a find. I spent days poring over all of his videos. I had just watched the video about his assistant's dog, Crocker, the night before I drove down to Seattle for my first red light therapy session with a Prism light pod that they had down there. When I left the Prism light pod establishment, the owner held the door open for me, and she saw an older gentleman waiting to come inside. She said, "Hi, Mr. Crocker, come on in." And I felt like that was a pretty good sign that Steve's site should really get my full attention, and it did. When I got back home, I watched more of Steve's videos, and at first I thought to myself, weightlifting? Well, maybe if I start small. My son is into weightlifting, and we had already built him a weight gym in half of our garage in 2020. So I bought a small set of hand weights for myself on Amazon, and I started with the smallest weights on the rack, the 2 and 3 pound weights. I also started using my recumbent stationary bicycle when I felt strong enough. I am up to 10 minutes a day on my bike right now. Then I saw Steve's videos about UVB light, and it really made sense to me. I had spent most of my adult life working indoors, getting very little sunlight, and now I was living in Washington State, the #1 state for a number of MS patients. I bought the UVB light that Steve recommended and even followed his instructions for building a stand for my new light, and I've been using it every other day since August 4th. Now in September, I did experience my very first relapse with my MS, and believe me, it was brutal. I had been doing full-body red light therapy all summer long, and when my 24 sessions with the red light bed came to an end, I immediately got worse. For all the good the red light did for me in the beginning, once my sessions ended, I was zapped into a relapse very quickly. I had a new neurologist by then, and she sent me for 5 days of steroid infusions, which helped calm my whole system down. I'm happy to say that the relapse is over, and my recent blood work just came back beautiful and normal. My neurologist is still trying to get me to decide on a DMT drug, which I am hesitant about, especially since my original blood work did show that I am JC virus positive. That alone eliminates several of the DMT drugs for me. I just sent her a message this morning asking her about low-dose naltrexone as a solution. We'll see what she says. But back to Steve Solves MS. I am encouraged by Steve's videos every time he releases a new one. It gives me great hope that with some hard work, dedication, and diligence to the 5 essentials he speaks about on his channel, weightlifting, the great sleep habits, I now have a smartwatch that tracks my sleep, then the 1 meal a day, OMAD, the UVB light exposure, and then adding 4 drops of iodine to water every day. I hope that by doing all of this, that I too can solve my MS just like Steve has. I told Steve the other day that I was getting ready to have a walk-in shower installed, and I took my last shower in my dangerous shower tub combo. I was shocked when I was able to stand in my shower the whole time and wash my hair without feeling like I was going to fall down. To me, this was a good sign of progress in the right direction, and I just know that all I am doing with both Steve and Dr. Walls is helping me get my life back. So thanks for watching, and I wish every one of you good health and improvement in your daily life. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Until the next video.